Hello, hello. It crossed my mind that A, it had been a long time since I put a video on this channel, and B, it's not an easy time for a lot of people who are in recovery from complex post traumatic stress or who have a challenging family dynamic. It's Mother's Day, which means that all day you're going to be hearing messages on the radio and in society and on the internet about gratitude and love and blessings and all this stuff. And if you're having a hard time, I just want you to know that I see you. Um, for a lot of my clients who have complicated relationships, not even necessarily that are abusive or destructive, it's really hard because we get a lot of social messages about how we're supposed to feel. And we still, as a part of like our Western cultural, historical, or legacy burdens, we are also still taught that pretending like things are going well, or that we are well, or that everything is okay, or that we can come from this like peaceful and loving place. Um, that may be directly bad for some part of you in your body. And so, what I want to say is if you have a complicated relationship with your mother and you decided not to say anything to her today, that's okay. If you have a complicated relationship with your mother and you decided to take the path of least resistance and celebrate her, hey, she kept you alive and changed your diapers and did a lot of things um, that were necessary for your survival. So we can honor that. If you're a mother and you are having a hard time and you feel really unappreciated, that's okay too. You don't have to feel awash or imbued with positive feelings on a day like today. It's just okay to be feeling however you're feeling. One of the things I say to my clients a lot is forgiveness is real and it is possible, and you can forgive your caregivers. But if you try to do it before you have like healed the mound of stuff that you have stuffed under the rug, I don't normally say stuff. I use the S word. Um, you're doing spiritual bypass. You're pretending like you're okay when you're not for someone else's benefit. You don't have to do that anymore. It doesn't make you a bad person. Um, However, you will experience sometimes that when you decide you are going to center your own well being or your own truth or your own recovery or your own healing, people are going to be mad at you. So you may get the experience of someone saying, you are the bad guy, you are a villain, you're selfish, you're ungrateful, you are not. You are not enough because right now you're choosing to center yourself instead of just show gratitude. And Bert Hellinger, who is the father of family constellations therapy, will say that blind loyalty to a family system means that you would remain loyal to attitudes, patterns, or ways of relating in a family system, even if it killed you. And so to free yourself or release yourself from blind loyalty means that you can finally go, if the price of admission to this family system is to hurt myself, I don't have to pay it. Lots of people your age and younger, and some older, are doing their own healing work and finding out that it is okay to not have to pay the price of admission to be in a family if that family expects you to self abandon as the price of admission. So, we're going to just do one round today and keep it short. But the core belief that we're going to treat today, the one that tested that we needed to treat, was I must please my parents and siblings. There's a great opportunity for you today to be a good sibling, daughter, son, non binary person. And there's also an opportunity for you to say, like, it's okay for me to not have to buy that cultural messaging. I'm going to put my hand at my heart. You can put your hand wherever you want to. Get a number on it, a number for a charge on this phrase so you can see if it's coming down or if it pulls up some other material. Make some note of that and take it into your own personal therapy, to a friend, to your meditation group, or you can always check out an adult children of alcoholics or other family dysfunction meeting, which are happening online all the time. And you could certainly find in a room like that a group of people who would go, it's okay to not be having a good time on Mother's Day. So one hand wherever you're going to put it on your body. This one feels like a 7 to me. It recently everything's been feeling like a 7, but the phrase is, "I must please my parents and siblings." So one hand wherever is your stationary hand, and the other one starting at your crown. I must please my parents and siblings. Now to your forehead. I must please my parents and siblings. To your chin. I must please my parents and siblings. Your throat. I must please my parents and siblings. Now to your center chest. I must please my parents and siblings. Left heart. I must please my parents and siblings. Now to your right heart. I must please my parents and siblings. To your solar plexus. I must please my parents and siblings. I got to tell you, a lot of feelings of like dread or the fear of punishment is what came up from like my chin, like this triangle from my chin to my left and right heart. So we're at the center, or we're at the solar plexus. I must please my parents and siblings. Now to your belly button. I must please my parents and siblings. Now to your low belly, to your pelvis where your hip bones might meet in the center. I must please my parents and siblings. Now to your left hip crease. I must please my parents and siblings. To your right hip crease. I must please my parents and siblings. And then one more time to your root. You can sit on your hand from the back. You can put your hand between your legs in the front. I must please my parents and siblings. Take a big deep breath. If you need to do another round for that, just rewind the video and start it over. And this phrase is opposite, or the positive cognition that we want to install or make the space for is, I must care for myself first and foremost. That not caring for yourself is not the way to win in this world. It's the way to get sick in this world. Period. And if you have stepped into some responsibilities that maybe you didn't have a clear appreciation of, like now you're a mother of 4 or you got boohoo kids, it's still true that you have to take care of yourself first, or that like resentment, pain, frustration, exhaustion is going to end up splashing out on the people that you love, who you have agreed to protect. I'm not here to judge. I'm just saying that self-care is probably one of the greatest gifts you will ever give to anyone that needs you, that loves you. And that includes people who may not be happy about the new you or the new truth. They're getting an opportunity to get to know the real you. If they can't take it, that's okay. That's their wound, their wounding, and it's their loss. But that you don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not just so someone else finds your false self acceptable. That might have been necessary for your safety at a younger time in life. It's not necessary anymore. And of course, that's not true if you're in an abusive situation, or that you are currently with someone who is hurtful, harmful, and dangerous. These circumstances do not always immediately universally apply. But again, your false self, performing as your false self, doesn't actually ultimately keep you safe. It keeps you surviving, but not thriving. So this phrase's opposite is, I must care for myself first and foremost. And so one hand wherever you feel that. I feel it really strong in my solar plexus. Start your other hand at your root. And your positive phrase is, I must care for myself first and foremost. Now to your pelvis. I must care for myself first and foremost. Now to your belly button. I must care for myself first and foremost. To your solar plexus. I must care for myself first and foremost. To your center chest. I must care for myself first and foremost. To your left heart. I must care for myself first and foremost. To your right heart. I must care for myself first and foremost. To your throat. I must care for myself first and foremost. Your chin. I must care for myself first and foremost. To your forehead. I must care for myself first and foremost. And then one more time at the crown. I must care for myself first and foremost. If you need multiple rounds of either one of these, the negative belief, which is I must please my parents and siblings, or I must care for myself first and foremost, you can always revisit this video. Some of these core beliefs are so strong, they're so deeply ingrained and in there that it feels like the air we breathe. It doesn't even feel like it's a thought. So if you're having a challenging time today or feeling like this one's a hard one for you instead of a day of celebration, I see you, and I hope this video is helpful.